Alright, we're back, and I still haven't really decided. The problem is if you could save. Well, we'll have to feed anyway. So the least we can do is clear up this way and see if there was... Alright, there was the ladder on this roof. And there was this. It's nice that they have a light here pointed right at the ladder. Kind of like, hey, stupid player. That's a good general rule in games, by the way. I think I've mentioned it in different games before. If you want the player to look somewhere, put a light there. Because, you know, to humans, light means there's life there, there are other people there. So those are inherently, you know, if you have a dark place with a few strategically placed lights, it immediately draws the attention. And of course also just from color perception. And things like that, how the human brain works. Which, you know, might be related to, you know, we want to find other humans and things like that. It's that, of course, everything in the darkness kind of disappears, gets de-emphasized, whereas everything in the light, yeah, just becomes interesting. So what you do as a game designer is you try to, you know, put parts of the game into darkness. And then add some lights to show people where to look. Like here, where we arrived. If you look, there is the light here in the middle, you know, the lamp behind the slightly broken wall. So you look here and you immediately see, oh yeah, there's probably something interesting over there, you know, it draws the eye. Like the other light over the entrance. And then of course there's these little swirls of smoke, but they're much less obvious. That just indicate, oh yeah, if you turn on celerity, then you can teleport over there. Alright, you know what? Let's go down there again. But just don't talk to guard guy. Just in case there was something we were able to see. Another streamer found some book about game design and he suddenly started to notice all these dev POV things as well and started talking about it. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's also, I recently saw someone, which game was it? Oh, it was Portal. Portal 2. I saw someone recently play Portal 2, and it was someone who had never played a game in that style, not a puzzle game person, really, and got constantly lost on the maps. Like, there is this one section where you end up in... I don't want to spoil the game, so I'm trying to keep this vague, but in Portal 2 there is this one basically there's a boss fight, and then you end up in a different section, which has a completely different art style than the game so far had. And it's in general, it's more difficult in that part of the game to find your way along. I remember that from when I played it. But it was also, you could tell that this person wasn't familiar with the whole follow the light thing, and a few other hints that games usually give you. It's the same thing works for me. If you put me into a boss fight, I have a hell of a time figuring out the boss's mechanics. So people who grew up on console games and things like that, where boss fights were, very common early on already, they kind of can see the signals more easily. Like they see, like this boss keeps hopping around in this pattern, and after this shot, the boss does this and that movement, and then shoots again, and things like that. And I have great difficulty seeing all those things and keeping track of them, because that's not the things I usually watched out for in games. And this is the same, like if you have games where getting from A to B is the important puzzle and not fighting with someone at a certain spot, then you get lost much more easily. Alright, I noticed that as well. I miss these patterns and immunities. I just declare them boring and ignore them. It's not a conscious thing, though. I think that needs to be pointed out. It's not that I look at these things and go boring, but yeah, my brain goes like, cute animation, find the puzzle. Whereas in these games, I need to actively work on making my brain go, keep watching these animations and try to find the hints they have tried to hide in the animation as to what is going on. And some of these hints are just, this is how it worked in this early pixelated game, and so this movement means something special. And since that's basically a fairly arbitrary movement, that just people know now as meaning, I don't know if you cause damage or something like that, but it wouldn't be enough in real life. And because of that, you often just don't get, or I often just don't see this as anything special. I think it's a neat detail for a realistic movement or something. I don't realize that this means this is the moment the immunity phase ends or something like that. Like if you put them in a big yellow shield or something, then I'll go, oh yeah, this is immunity, I guess. Or if you show me, instead of damage floating numbers, suddenly it just says immune, then I've by now figured out, well, I always knew if it says immune, then they're immune. But now you have to think of ways in which to cause this immunity to end. And like one absurd thing, but that I've learned over time, is in many games, a boss stays immune. So when I first saw this, I thought, oh, I'm using the wrong weapon. Changed weapons and tried a different damage type or tried melee or something. And none of this worked. They were still immune. until I realized, oh, it's, you know, that bright light at the start was supposed to show me that the shield generator had turned on, and now I need to take out the shield generators. Or you need to kill the all the, you know, the soldiers around the boss before the boss will stop with immunity. And that's a convention of the genre. It's not something that would be realistic in real life. Just because you take out someone's guards doesn't mean they will stop being immune to damage. You know, they will throw down their armor and attack you without armor. That's not how real world works. And so these are things you have to learn by playing games and learning the conventions.
Always start by making a cross on one of the sides. The rest will follow.
That's a spoiler for Rubik's Cube, by the way. Sorry.
Now's not the time.
I don't know what this is, but I guess I'm too early in this room and I should get here later. So, okay, but there wasn't anything else I could have picked up, so that's good. So let's get back out here again. And at least we've unlocked the ladder, so that's good. And now that I've postponed this, I guess it's time to once more fill up. So yeah, what do I do?
I just need a little blood.
Right, we haven't talked to the one girl yet. The woman who, I think it was you?
Sorry, I don't really want to talk right now. Especially not with a chick from the camp.
Are you sure you're all right?
No, I don't want to talk about it. It's personal.
Oh. We don't have enough. Damn it. We need to. Wait, maybe we can talk later. I hope we can still talk later and we didn't screw up. Okay. But at least we didn't screw up with her like we did last time. Because we thought we were giving her some subtle tough love, and instead Emem started leaning into her. Okay, let's find, where's the blood again? Here. Let's find someone to feed from. We fed from you. So...
Come on. It won't take long.
I'm still not sure I like how these feedings work, because like it's not obvious enough that they're not dead, basically. Always makes me feel unsure. Okay, let's try and find Kai again. And maybe we can get some information from her.
I just need a little blood.
Sorry, I don't really want to talk right now. Especially not with a chick from the camp.
I came to help, and I could help you too. I'm a good listener. You can tell me anything.
It's just... the SI. I have a family. Do you understand? My kids?
Oh. How old are they?
8 and 12. I don't want to lose them.
So I think we said you should have thought about that earlier. Not sure reassuring her is the best solution, but let's try it. We're playing differently, so...
Cheer up. The night is still young. We're gonna get those bastards. They won't lay a finger on your kids.
I hope you're right.
Interesting, we can only ask one of these questions. Why did she join the Anarchs or change the subject?
Camarilla frowns on having a family. Is that why you joined the Anarchs?
Yes and no. I'm a thin blood. It was only a matter of time. Joining the Anarchs was a matter of survival.
Okay. Still not quite sure what thin blood means in all its consequence in a society. In this society. And I'm kind of scared to ask, was it the only option? Because it feels... both of them feel like she would insult someone with it.
There are those at the court who find you disgusting. I think it's stupid.
To them, we're degenerates. An insult to their kind. They forget that they're the ones who are responsible for creating us.
I sure hope things will change for you.
For things to change, we need friends in the court. But that's not gonna happen anytime soon. You were right. It helps. Thanks.
No problem.
Did you want to ask me something?
Do you know who Ceres is?
Yeah. Why?
What can you tell me about her?
She's the Baron's right hand. She's in charge of security.
What's she like?
Not the warm, fuzzy type. But she's efficient. At least that's the impression she gives off.
Oh. Then we're bound to get along. See you later.
Bye!
That wasn't really helpful. I wonder, what does this mean? Rockfowl construction. Estimate number 16824. Date June 6th, 2019. Object facade work. Description: assemble scaffolding. Change damaged panels 3. Install new panels 5. So some construction job, but not sure if it's supposed to mean anything.
I just need a little blood.
Prophecies seem to indicate thin-blooded vampires are a sign of the end times. Many thin-bloods migrated to the Anarch Free State in an attempt to escape being hunted and persecuted. Yeah. I don't know, it's just in this context, it doesn't feel like what she said. Yeah, I guess the whole, yeah, it was the only option to survive.
Are you the one that was sent by Iverson?
What the hell are you still doing here?
I was told I could stay.
Who told you that? Does Thane know?
Oh, I'm an idiot. And it didn't work.
Relax. I'm cool, alright? Chill out.
Drop the act. The puppy dog eyes don't work on me. I don't know what you're up to, but I've got my eye on you. We don't want you around here.
Many thin-blooded vampires are able to learn strange and rare disciplines without training. They are less affected by sunlight. Yeah, that, like, the less affected by sun... Like, in general, thin blood basically means you don't have the usual clan abilities.
The lock must be on the other side.
Yeah, we can get there with the elevator, but that... I think it's just an alternate approach. I've postponed enough, haven't I? So the question is, do I... Let's see if maybe Saul has something to say.
Ah, still in one piece. I'm impressed.
Your friends might hate me, but they're afraid of Hazel. They wouldn't dare touch a hair on my head.
It's not just Hazel. Everyone knows the Black Rattler's Rose. So, what do you think? Must be a hell of a change from all those tight asses at court, huh?
So yeah, the Black Rattlers were, like, is the name of her club, and so they're all kind of aware. Oh yeah, she's the person who runs those clubs that we can go to.
Honestly, I have no idea. I thought I knew you, but it turns out I've just been scratching the surface.
Welcome to the jungle, sis. You know, your message earlier. At the time, I really thought you wanted to take the plunge. Well, that you were going to join us.
Got your hopes up.
I'm a little disappointed. I think you have your place here. You should think about it.
Not tonight.
I know. But if you have any questions, let me know.
I was able to talk to Rafa.
And?
He was suspicious at first, but he came to understand the severity of the situation. He's agreed to help us.
Well done. Rafa's a little rough around the edges, but he's a good leader. You did the right thing. Were you able to bring up our plans to Cirrus?
Yes, but she refuses to help us.
So, what do you say we go see Thane? I think it's high time we did.
So so we can do this now. I guess we'll try it. It's a hard decision. Like, I don't want Saul to die, if I can avoid it. Of course, we don't want Emem to die, because we're playing as Emem, and she's interested in her own life. I'd rather not kill Ceres, but at this point, Ceres being in league with people who want to you know, the thing is, if he asks us to kill Ceres, then I mean, she has been going after the prince. So that won't get Hazel angry at us or anything like that. But I don't know how the other Anarchs would react. Didn't you want to throw the other guy under the bus as cannon fodder? Yeah, Yardley, I kind of do, but if I have to kill Ceres for that, you know, kind of doubly beheads the Anarchs. So, not sure. That's the problem. You're just standing there, you don't know. You know what? It's gameplay, you know? So, if we help Yardley, we get a little more gameplay. We see a little more of the game.
I want to look around here a little more.
Suit yourself, but don't take too long. We don't have all night.
I'll be quick.
So I guess we'll say yes to him and see what we can do from there. If I get given any choice to throw him under the bus, to betray him or something, I will do so. But you know, the hope that I have is that, you know, if I only get Rafa and Saul, who both seem to be good people, you know, and friends, sort of, Emem, then my guess is that at least one of them will get killed in the process of this attack. And now I'm kind of hoping that if I get Ceres killed, if Yardley asks me to kill Ceres, and then he takes over, that he will be there and that he will be the one who gets killed. Because he's the militia guy. And so, you know, technically you would send the militia first, right? And then all the others. And in the end, like, I'm kind of hoping that maybe I can warn Saul, or maybe I can, I don't know, something. Or maybe even when we go to the prince, maybe then I can go.
Ticking.
Who said that? Did he say that?
Hey,
What?
Oh. There's a new conversation option. Let's see what that is. It seems like it... Well, he had a conversation about Saul. Or some of Saul's people, right? So that might be his thing.
I heard you fuming over Saul earlier.
I found some of her ferals skulking around my vessels. They couldn't get out of here soon enough. I'm fed up with them.
Are you not much for company?
No, not when they're making themselves at home in my territory. Before you friggin' know it, they're pissing on the walls.
Right, that's another problem. Like, if we get him in power... then I'm causing trouble for Saul, probably. Oh, what the heck. Gameplay. I said gameplay.
I want to help you with Ceres.
Is that so? Alright, listen up.
I've got dirt on Ceres. Bank accounts. The kind of stuff that's shady enough to get her kicked out of the coterie for good.
Ooh, we can be smart.
Let me guess. Your files prove she's skimming money off the top. Am I right?
Bingo.
And is it true?
That's not important.
Oh.
You couldn't find anything to blame her for, could you?
I've got tons of things to blame her for. But nothing blaring you're guilty. All that matters is getting rid of her. If Saris is out, then I'll replace her. And I'll help you.
I doubt a couple pieces of paper will be enough to push her out the door.
Think again. We don't have the same resources you do. So if we were to find out she's been helping herself to the little we have...
How long have you been sitting on these papers?
I've been preparing all of this for a couple of months. I was just waiting for the right time to make my move.
You're using me.
I'm trying to help you.
What are you planning to do with your little papers?
I can't just whip them out like that. Somebody's got to find them. And for that to happen, I need you to help me plant them somewhere.
Where?
In Saris's personal safe. It's in a secure room. Here, you'll need this pass to get in.
Great. Is there a code? For the safe, I mean.
It's not a code, it's a card. Here, you'll find it upstairs. Any questions?
Just to be sure, could you go over all that again?
I gave you the files. You have to plant them in Saris's safe. It's in the safe room upstairs. Got it?
Got it. Why don't you do it yourself? We'd save time.
I can't. It's too risky. I could get caught.
What would you have done if I hadn't come along?
I would have found another solution.
Another sucker.
Call it whatever you want to call it.
On second thought, I could go see Saris and tell her everything.
And you think she'd believe you?
I've got proof.
That would be risky. You'd lose the only ally you've ever had.
Good point. I think that's about it.
In that case, I'll arrange to get you access to upstairs. Here, take the files. Come back when you've got some news. I'm counting on you.
I don't think I have any other choice. I wonder what else he's hiding.
Okay, what's our option? Get the militia coterie to join your cause. Overthrow Ceres, head of the militia. Break into the vault.
If she thinks
put
I'm
the
gonna be
fake files in
silenced.
Ceres safe. So... yeah, what does he have? We know what he has to hide. We know he killed Finn. So let's see if we have the option of telling Ceres about it, because I told you, I'm gonna rat him out.
What now?
Okay, we can tell her.
I've got something to tell you that you're not gonna like.
What?
It has to do with your second.
Yardley? What's the problem?
He wants you out of the picture.
Excuse me?
He knows you won't help us against the SI. He offered to help me. In exchange for your head.
No way. Do you have any proof to back up your claim?
He asked me to plant some forged documents in your safe. I didn't do it. I've got them with me if you want to see them.
That won't be necessary. Yardley. I knew he was up to something. But for him to use you against me, he's sunk to a new level.
Why can't I tell her about the Finn guy?
That's all I know.
I guess I should thank you.
You owe me more than that. I saved your ass. I want you to talk to Thane and defend Hazel's offer.
I knew it. You might be onto something. But what's in it for me?
Okay, I'm liking this. I was looking to the forward to the that's not all. Yeah, I can't select it. Okay, let's ask her first, since that's a freebie.
What do you have in mind?
More than just a fistful of greenbacks. What can you offer me?
Okay, expand their territory, non-aggression pact. Deal on the blood trade. So the deal on the blood trade, that's really something they did together. Okay, let's just wildly theorize here, okay? So expand their territory. I mean, that could backfire. You know, Hazel could just say, hey, we can always give them your clubs. But that would probably be a fairly cheap thing to do. A non-aggression pact. That would be kind of cool. For one, you know, Emem, I think, would like that. You know, it's, you don't want your customers to be fighting. Then Hazel has been going after them. And that might also be safer for Hazel. Deal on the blood trade, I think we've basically promised that to the Hartford Chantry, so not sure there's so much left there to give. But also a non-aggression pact. If they all get killed, you know, then there's no reason to not be, you know, there's nobody to have that pact with anymore. So the court's gratitude probably won't help that much. So let's try the non-aggression pact, I guess.
Our groups could agree to a truce.
And what exactly would we get out of it?
You could go about your business without worrying about the court.
And when it's all over, it'll go back to the way it was before. Thanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
It's like pissing into the wind. This is your first time, isn't it?
What? Negotiating?
No, fighting.
I've spent my life doing it.
So you should know that you rarely win without sacrificing something. How many people will be destroyed tonight, if I agree to help you? How many of your friends? Are you ready to bear that burden?
Whether or not I'm able to convince you to help me, I'll have blood on my hands.
And you accept that?
I didn't really have a choice.
That's what I thought. You're not here because you believe in this fight. You're just following orders, that's all. And you want us to line up behind you. That's enough. There's no point in insisting.
What? No. Saris, I need you.
So does Randall. Listen, Thanks for your help with Yardley, but our partnership ends here.
I should have let him finish you.
Too late for that. Now,
What
if
the
you'll
heck?
excuse me, I need to have a few words with my second.
That music is a bit
At least
strong.
I've got Rafa. It's better than nothing.
Okay, and that music is actually coming from the game. Okay. So that didn't go too well. So my guess is,
Just one more session and I'll get back to you.
what the heck is going on with this music? Jesus. Is that the you snooze, you lose music? Maybe. Okay. So the question is, do I want to redo this again? Because, you know, I've redone it once by now. I might as well micro-optimize it now. Nah, but that... I don't know. Huh. Speedrun... Yeah, it's kind of... Speedrun in this game is a little difficult. I don't know what to do, honestly. I think... You know what? I screwed over Yardley, and I'm gonna live with the consequences of not offering Ceres what she wanted. Yeah, I think we're just gonna live with it. We're gonna say that Ceres told us to screw us ourselves. And just live with it. This is kind of the point where I say I tried to, you know, as well as I could, and this is where I would have ended last time if we haven't had that bug. So that's why well, we're just gonna go and gonna say now, well, we weren't able to convince Ceres, and see what happens.
Is there a problem?
I've tried everything I can. I think we can go see Thane.
Are you sure?
Ruh-roh.
Yes.
All right, follow me. The Baron is expecting us. Ready?
Do I really want to do this? Then again, it's either me or them.
Yeah, we're doing it. You know, that's kind of like you have to be a certain kind of person to become a vampire, you know. I think selfless, well-balanced people would not sign up to become a vampire, you know. And so, you know, if it's me or them, as she says, then of course she'll choose herself.
Forgive
So let's
me.
try this.
Yes, let's go.
But I guess that means we're getting
Yes,
Saul
and now
killed.
you can't go back. It's too late.
You. Ceres thinks we should join you. Rafa does too. You turned them all against me.
Wait, it worked? That's interesting. We didn't really... That's interesting. I wonder if that's a bug, or why she suddenly changed her mind. Because we lost that confrontation. Huh.
It was either that or say goodbye to the attack. I couldn't give up.
You're sending them to their doom.
I'm giving us a chance.
To disappear for good? You have no idea what that means. You're not ready.
We're leaving for Long Island, together. Saul and Rafa will meet up with Hazel there. I'll wait until they launch their coordinated attack to infiltrate the base.
You're destroying this cell. Get out of here. I don't want to see you again.
Yep. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What did we get that for? Oh, that was for finding out who Rafa is. Alright. You found the network of tunnels. You won your confrontation with Rafa and got the hacker coterie to join your cause. You discovered Rafa's secret identity. You got 2 coteries to join your cause. You successfully carried out the prince's plan. Resonance bonus Auspex. You could have collected a thin blood artifact. Okay. You could have been allied with Yardley. Well, that was intentional. You could have searched Yardley's safe. Where the heck was Yardley's safe? We didn't see a safe, neither in the previous playthrough. Oh, I guess the AT1 that we found the keycard to? But here, this is interesting. You got 2 coteries to join your cause. Oh, 2 is Saul and Rafa, not 3. You didn't get the militia. You didn't convince Ceres, and the militia did not join your cause. Why is that in there twice? You did not find the vault. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I guess we did not find the vault. Or was that one of the... That might have been one of the underground places we found the last time. I didn't go back into all the tunnels because I thought there was nothing relevant down there. Well, too late. Okay. But hey, we've done it. So we've got those 2. And now we do this as Galeb. Oh my goodness. You know, I've always thought it would be fun to have a game where you play 2 characters and the things you do as one character then show up when you play as the other one. Now the problem is we won't get that here, I'm pretty sure. Although Emem and Galeb will, you know, are kind of going there at the same time. I think we will, you know, since these are, you can play them in any order. So there's no guarantee that if I make these decisions as Emem, for instance, that then Galeb would see Emem with the consequences of those actions. So in this play as Galeb, we will not see any of this. Any consequences of what Emem did, I guess. If at all, we will just see, you know, things that we cannot change happen to Emem. But we won't see consequences. Especially since this is 11:30 p.m. and he's at 10 p.m. is where he starts. So if we had played in chronological order, it would have been different. So yeah, but that's interesting. So I think that was just a bug, or, you know, they didn't have the time to code an alternate scene. That Ceres would speak, like, there should have been Rafa here. Really. That they say, hey, Rafa and Saul said to do this. That Ceres was mentioned. I think that's a bug. Because she's not coming along. Right? That's what the results said. But anyway, would be kind of cool if there was a way to, you know, if these scenes were in a fixed order, which, you know, would mean you can't just pick who we want to play it at the moment, which is kind of nice. I like that feature in the game, that you get 3 choices and then get to play as whoever you feel like today. At least for a while. You still have to do all 3 in the end. But it means, you know, you can do things like, I don't know, if you don't like Galeb, you can say, hey, I play Emem first, then I play as Galeb, and then I play as Leisha to kind of cleanse the palate and get something good again. Or something like that. But it would be kind of cool if we made decisions. Like, if this was just if each of these chapters was basically combined into one chapter, and you can, you know, kind of Day of the Tentacle, Maniac Mansion, like, you know, switch between characters as well. Or Broken Age has the same mechanic. That would actually be kind of cool. Because then, if you get stuck on one of these, you can try out the other, and they can actually make them depend on each other. Or even, you know, do things like, if you do certain things as Emem, then then you see those happen as Galeb in a different scene. So that would be cool. But okay. Now let's continue as Galeb. With the threat identified at last, time has come to strike back. Hazel Iverson has devised a daring plan to outsmart the mortals. Galeb infiltrates the base on Long Island disguised as a corpse. His assignment is crucial. He must eliminate the head of the Society of St. Leopold in Boston, Walter Stanford. Okay, and now we can invest in some of his skills. We have 105. So let's see, disciplines. What does he have? Sense the unseen. That's, for example, he has 4 base skills. I guess because he's an older vampire. But you cannot actually level up this skill much. Then he has this one where we have presence. Gives access to presence dialogue choice. Velvet glove. More presence. More presence. Dominate. Generates less hunger. Next skill will automatically succeed without using willpower. But that would be 120. We can't afford that one. Walls of the Mind. Defends against the opponent's skills. Increases the chance of winning by 50% in case of a tie. Generates 2 hunger. Okay, I have no idea. Iron Will. Walls of the Mind can now also protect against opponent's disciplines. Let's see. Can't get that. There's just... I have to say, this game is... Back when I played The Outer Worlds, I said I really liked it because The Outer Worlds felt a lot like you can choose skills that you find fun. And, you know, play that. It was like, it's a big list of skills, and you're never really locked out of anything. If you don't have those skills. It at least felt that way. I don't know why it felt differently. And here you have a small list of skills, which should make it easier, but actually that makes each skill having it more important. So here's the thing, we could get this for 90, which increases Dominate, but also and generates 1 less Thirst. And this Walls of the Mind is just for ties. So I'm not sure if that's really useful. And Velvet Glove just increases presence. I don't even know. So that basically just means that anything that needs a presence check has 1 point more, but it doesn't actually improve the skill. I guess we'll go with this because, well, it's 15 points that we would have, not sure. That's the problem, it uses a whole 90 points. But for that we would get 1 more point in Dominate. So if we use it, we can actually improve it. Or we could go with Rhetoric or Intimidation. I guess that's what we'll do. We'll just spend this point into these 100 points in Intimidation. But then we can't spend anything on anything else. I don't think anything... Oh, we could... Physical. This attribute affects the skill Intimidation and the Celerity discipline. Okay, then yeah, I guess we'll spend the 5 on here, and then we're out of points. So, I mean, you see I'm doing what I did in the Outer Worlds.
Gently. We'll deal with him tomorrow.
Bonk hits his head. No.
Delsin wasn't wrong. Now, how to find Stanford.
You can see that I'm doing the same thing I did in the Outer Worlds a bit, in that I'm kind of... I didn't actually go for the disciplines and instead went for skills, because I kind of... Oops, what was that? Okay, I think it's recovered. Because I didn't really... because I'm hoping that I can get out of things with dialogue more than with having to use these skills.
Flashing under their skin.
Yeah, I guess that's the sensor thing that Leisha pretended to have.
That's not very discreet. That's not very discreet.
Okay, so I guess we can choose what we want to be. And I guess at least as long as we're wearing our suit.
That's not very discreet.
We would probably want to pretend to be that guy. Oh, there's something to read here. Special Affairs Division. Agents killed in action. Blue Squadron. Autopsy status on hold. Urgent. Jim Felton, Walter George, Axel Stevens, Bradley Phelps, Frank Vincenzo. Okay. And I guess that's another
This is
kindred.
what happens to mortals who step out of line.
Oh, that's a mortal? Okay. Oh.
An implant. They must have taken that from a corpse. This implant could be useful.
Blue implant. Ah. Blue is that guard guy. No, this one has green. And this one has blue. So I think if we're wearing a suit and blue... Although... this one had green. So if this says that Blue Squad is dead, that might be slightly problematic if they're all dead.
I've never seen a machine like that.
It's to implant an implant. Implant installation not possible. Add implant in the reserve.
A slot for what would appear to be a small card.
Various implant states. Blinking light, the implant is malfunctioning or not powered correctly. Steady light, the implant is communicating with another device or has just been updated. No light, the implant is working correctly. Operation Swansong. Oh. So Swansong is not related to all the swans that Hazel has? Although, who knows? You know, here's the thing. So Hazel has a thing for swans. We saw that when we looked through her apartment. And we've seen Richard drive away with the agents. So what if Hazel is orchestrating all this behind the scenes? And, you know, as a fun inside joke, maybe she went and said, hey, you know, as a fun inside joke, maybe she named the mission Swansong. Of course, it could be that it's Richard, you know, trying to take over. I think Hazel is, what, Toreador? And Quentin King was, I think, Malkavian. So if Richard was, you know, since Richard was Malkavian, then that would mean that Quentin King and Richard, you know, Richard might be trying to bring back Boston to the Malkavians. That could, of course, also be. And then maybe he says, hey, we're using humans to take down Hazel. So it's the Swansong. Upon arrival, the SAD's security clearance implant system is designed to make access to the base on Long Island more secure and organized. Upon arrival, each member of the organization receives a subcutaneous implant on their right hand. See installing an implant. This implant has a unique identification number and a security clearance level that corresponds to your rank. The level can be updated if the organization chart changes. See updating an implant. The implants contain personal data about the user, first and last name, date of arrival. They also allow us to monitor vital functions and real-time location using a GPS tracking system. If the implant blinks, this means it is not working. Please contact the technical department to resolve the issue as soon as possible. Okay, GPS doesn't sound too good. That means they will know where Galeb is and was. Installing an implant. Place your forearm in the designated slot. Do not move while the implant is inserted. Wait a few seconds until the implant stops blinking. When the implant stops blinking, it is operational. Note, once the implant is inserted under the skin, it will be powered by the electrical energy contained in the human body. If your implant flashes rapidly, please contact a technician. Updating an implant. Place the implant to be updated on the stand on the right. Place the implant with the clearance level to be duplicated on the stand on the left. Wait a few seconds. When both implants blink the same color, the update is complete. Note, the implants use NFC chips and must be in direct contact with the stands. Okay. So now we have to find those stands, because my guess is the blue implant we found. Where are stands? Okay. Stands. If I were a stand, which one of those would I be? Yes, Londo. Okay, so these all seem like grunts.
That's not very discreet.
But this guy looks like...
That's not very discreet.
the kind of guy we'd want. Okay, it's locked here, so whatever stand we might have... I don't see any stands. Maybe that's for later. Just assuming that maybe we can... So let's just try this.
It's a perfect fit.
Okay. And now...
Let's see how it works. There. I've got an implant, but it's blinking.
Update to blue implant? Okay, so I guess...
That's not very discreet.
How do we get someone's implant?
That's not very discreet.
Clearance implant required.
That doesn't work on corpses. I can fix that. They don't know everything about us yet.
So they have yeah, I kind of assumed that that would automatically happen. Which it did in the cutscene, I guess. So because, of course, usually vampires don't breathe and things like that, so of course what it said that it uses the, you know, natural electricity of a body, that of course wouldn't work on a dead body, but that's why they can pretend to be alive.
In 1870, Long Island was a hospital for chronically ill patients. What do they use it for now?
Oh, interesting. So he knows this place, but not just because it's... True love. AIDS is a killer. Protect yourself.
Closed. These hallways, they converted a hospital.
And I guess the door... Yeah, the door is behind. Okay, so we can't get in that way. So he said I think it was him who said that he already knew the place where they were. So the question is, was he there? When I was 13, I came out to my parents as a Morbius male. They couldn't accept my morbality, so they sent me off to camp. They just didn't understand. I was morbed that way. At the camp, they gave us electromorb therapy to morb us into beta males. I resisted the treatment, being a Morbius male. You can't morb me out of being morbed. I fooled the counselors into thinking they had successfully morbed me into a beta male. Hello, Dracula. How's it going? Well, I see you are having a morbid good time. Even though that message seemed a little morbid. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me there. Morbaceous. Yes.
A closet. Disappointing.
I love him. That's like Galeb is like so stiff and formal, and then this. I don't think it's, I don't think he necessarily has a sense of humor, but just like in context, it's humorous for everyone watching him, so that's cool. You're morbid right now. How about you, since you are playing a vampire game? Yeah, I'm doing well here. This game is fun. By the way, anyone else think that Galeb kind of looks a bit like the guy from Vampire? Or Vampire, I don't know, VAMPYR. So, that game, it's a game set in Victorian London about a doctor who becomes a vampire. He kind of reminds me a little bit of him. The other guy has a more square face and things like that, and not quite as thick a beard, I think. And looks a little more friendly. But, there's it's bearded guy with sunk eyes and cheekbones up to heaven. That kind of thing. That's how I sound in real life. A disappointed. You're a disappointment? What? How do you sound in real life? Oh, you look like him. Weird. I thought Dracula was the one with the big hair. I saw that movie with what was it, Leslie Nielsen?
They don't appear to use this area.
No shit, Sherlock.
How strange. This looks like an implant scanner.
Higher clearance required.
Restricted access. Interesting.
Okay, so this is not actually a closet. This is the entrance to somewhere. I'm smart. I'm smart. Game leads me there. I follow. Me smart.
A vaccination campaign from 1988. There must have been more traffic here back then. They haven't been used for years.
Now you lost brain cells. Well, have you checked between the seat cushions? I think there might be. What was that? Didn't hear
Hey!
that.
Who are you? You shouldn't be on this floor. Identify yourself immediately, or I'm calling security.
It's entirely normal for me to be here. You have nothing to worry about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little stressed out. Usually the men in suits stay downstairs. But you seem different. In a good way. Not like those Vatican guys, but I shouldn't say anything.
Damn it, I don't have psychology.
Is there a problem with them?
Let's just say, I thought we had tough standards, but the Society of St. Leopold has proven me wrong. Before they came here and changed everything, it was actually pretty simple.
What do you mean?
Now there are tons more clearance levels. They're really proud of that downstairs. But the truth is, there are tons of errors all the time, and everyone has to update their implants constantly.
Is that why mine doesn't work on the closet?
Is that the first time it's happened to you? Unbelievable!
What do I need to do?
Just like everyone else, we're following procedure.
Did you play Vampire before? I watched it played. I own it, I think. But I haven't actually played it myself yet. The combat has kind of scared me away. So I'm trying to remember if I ever played it and if I own it. It might be that I started playing it and then when kind of the combat is too annoying, or it might have been that I actually didn't buy it. But I watched a few playthroughs and it's a great game. It's just the combat is not my thing, and I think at the time it didn't have difficulty settings. So yeah, that wasn't too good.
My question isn't about the protocol, but what you can do to help a colleague in need.
Yeah, I get it. I've got a bunch of green implants in the safe in my office. The code is 423. You can take one, but you have to remember to bring it back.
Can you remind me how it works?
Go to any implant machine. It's really easy. There are instructions if you need them.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, I guess that worked. The combat is a bit brutal and chaotic, but hey, they like to play with fire. It's just, you know, I'm about story and decisions, and if there's combat, then I go like, I guess I'll do it to get to the next bit of story. So I'm not the ideal type for this kind of combat that they have. Oh, I guess she opened. Yeah, okay. So now I can go in there. I guess. Oh, and I can go through here. What was it? 423.
Where did I put that file?
That's a very secure code, by the way. Oh, it actually reminds me here. That was nice.
Here are the implants.
Soldier, admin.
No red implants. They're reserved for the Society of St. Leopold.
Oh, it's interesting. This delta is soldier, and the circle.
Here are the green implants.
Okay, I guess let's take one.
Blue implants. I have one already.
All right. I guess I can't close the safe. Very secure. Nobody in these could have thought of that. Well, it's I mean, I totally...
There's no more room in the morgue.
Sorry. Yeah, it's, the... I mean, she gave us the code, so... And we kind of, you know, glamored her. So, should be fine. It's a bit weird, though, that you can just take an implant of any person and update it. Because... the... Was that in... I hope that was in Vampire. And please stay away from spoilers, okay? If it's for this game. Like in Vampire, I've seen pretty much all of it already, so there were some really heavy fights there. So that's fine. I don't remember exactly. Oh yeah, I think the werewolf... Was that something where you were being chased and... I have a vague memory of some game, and I don't know if it was Vampire, where you were like in a log cabin and chased by a werewolf. Was that Vampire or was that another one? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, no security system would work this way. You can't, you know, you well, I'm not saying no security system because I've seen some stupid stuff, but like a secure system would just, you know, would have this information stored on some server. And the implants would just be basically a serial number or something, an encryption, probably. No blood hunt. I don't remember getting to any spot in Blood Hunt. Oh, not Bloodlines, you mean? Yeah, that could be. It could be that it was a Bloodlines scene. You're right. Yeah. Because Blood Hunt is the Battle Royale thing that it doesn't fit in there. But yeah, it could be Bloodlines. I think I have a vague memory in that, and the werewolf doesn't seem very detailed in my memory, and that could be if it was Bloodlines, because Bloodlines had the Bloodlines had the older engine, of course. Anyway, so usually you would do it so an implant is kind of, you know, is hard to duplicate, and usually contains some sort of active component like an encryption chip or something, and then you feed data through it and get it back out, and check that the result is what you would expect, you know, based on a public key on file or something. So the information of who has access to what would usually be saved on a central server where nobody can change it, not in the actual implant. And being able to just say, hey, I take this implant with a higher clearance out of the guy I just killed and copy it into the implant. I mean, it's useful for the game, gives you a few puzzles. Okay, so now we have done that. So now we have a green thing. Oh, what's this?
The destruction of the Long Island Bridge didn't discourage everyone.
Alright. And you need to survive 5 minutes, but you did in 2 shots. You died in 2 shots if you got caught. Yeah. It's, I probably remember that scene because I watched someone play Bloodlines and they spent a lot of time dying and, you know, trying to get away in that scene. I remember that being a difficult bit, but I guess that's not not in Vampire then, I guess. Yeah. It also felt a little weird because Vampire, I remember, you know, locations were more like from a you know, most of it was, you know, London, and I think then there was like 1 or 2 scenes set in some castle off the road or something, and so it didn't really feel like a log cabin would fit there. But Bloodlines has a lot of locations.
Good. Let's see where this takes me.
I didn't explore a lot.
Bigger than I thought. It's not going to be that easy to find Stanford.
Okay.
Easy there, soldier. I've got to...
On your knees! Hands behind your head!
Ooh. Both cost me 3 points. Wait, what?
Lower your weapon and let me through.
On your knees, I said! Now!
He resisted. How?
Ah, okay. That was a nice trick. He thinks he can use his abilities, but it doesn't work. Move towards him seems kind of stupid. So I guess... well, that worked.
When Stanford learns that his colleague was held up, he'll want to know who was responsible for it. There will be consequences to pay.
Stanford!
Scan your implant.
Are we all right?
Yeah. Next time, let me know.
That was close. I'll have to be careful.
Okay, so I guess that was the same guy? That's a bit confusing. You can tell that it's not a AAA game. First with this audio bug that we've had the whole time, that if someone is farther away, sometimes they're really a bad volume, even though it's a conversation that's important. You need to sleep because you're very tired. See you later. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye, I guess. Sorry, I was kind of like, you talk with someone, click. It's fine, it's a triple B game. Anyway, yeah, so, and it's a bit confusing then, like, who said this? Like, you do directional audio to be able to hear what someone says. Okay.
That should work. It's much larger than I thought.
Huh. I'm not feeling good at all doing this. Hexagon. Interesting. Well, but I just noticed. Look where the time went.
Is that it?
So, I guess this is where we'll continue later. But at least we've started Galeb's stuff. That's a big door. I'm not sure if we're supposed to walk in there and who... Well, there is a guy in a suit, so that should work. The best directional audio I've ever seen was a physics bug in Space Engineers, where a forklift was rotating fast in mid-air, and the surprised screams of the players came from different directions. So, yeah, that's, Anyway, yeah, so I think this is the point where we'll end stream today. Good, well on time. But hey, I like this. It'll be interesting. And I mean, that's not a bad thing for the game, but like, it really makes me feel uneasy, this game, that we're walking around in this high security area, you know, and anyone could detect who we are at any second. The stairs are weird, like we can't really go sideways. Like, I can walk a little diagonally, but not much. Fascinating. Looks pretty though with those lights. Alright. On time. Outrageous. Yeah. But yeah. Great so far. I will be horrified probably once we find out what the consequences of what we did as Emem are. Yeah. So next time we'll be continuing with this. Let's push this button. Yeah, and I actually forgot at the start of the stream. I hope you had a good week. I hope the next week will be just as good. And we'll see each other again at 5 p.m. Central European Summertime next Sunday. And that's 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. For those of you on another continent, that might be a time relative to which you will more easily know where you are. I picked that because it's kind of like the time at the Twitch office. You can also see it below this stream in the schedule section on Twitch. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, then, well, just click the next clip. Unless you're on the latest clip, then the question is, well, you could go check the Twitch, because for legal reasons I have to upload each stream 24 hours after to YouTube. I can't upload it immediately. So if you're curious about the next play and it's Sunday, then you might find the Twitch VOD or even be able to drop in live. Same name as on YouTube. Anyway, thank you all for being there. Have an amazing week.
Come on,
I hope
monster.
it all goes well for you. And, oh, we should probably check if we can raid someone. Okay, let's mute the game audio so we don't get any feedback from any streams. See if anything anyone is streaming. Oh yeah, let's raid. Yeah, let's do that. So the person we'll be raiding today is called Point Then Click, and surprisingly, she plays point and click games. And she's currently playing the game Flight of the Amazon Queen. So let's drop by, say hi, check out the game. It's a really cool old point and click adventure that you can actually get for free right now. So yeah, let's drop by, say hi. Did I have a raid message? Yeah. So if you're a subscriber, use the first message. If not, you can use the second message, which uses general Twitch emotes. Yeah, and so come along. If you can't stay, that's fine, but it would be nice to say hi, and if you think the stream is interesting, then, you know, leave a follow so maybe you can come by another time. She usually streams on, like, US times, which is usually horribly late for me. So if that's something that makes a stream for you attractive because I stream horribly early for you, then, you know, that's a good idea. So thank you for being here. And come on for the raid. Bye-bye.